I want to go into our guest speaker. He hails from Dallas, Texas. He did a great job last week about the trees out in the back. And I can't wait to hear what he's going to say this week. Yes, last week was short, sweet, to the point. Without further ado, all the way from Dallas, Texas, well, I'll be in 6 days, the one and only Backbone and Posh himself, Mr. Sam Foster.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for that warm introduction. Thank you, as always, for being a servant leader. Thank you, Mr. Junior Lewis, for stepping in for our individual that does our usual text, Mr. Jabri Clemens. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for being on the call. I won't be before you long. I'm taking my usual Friday morning stroll out here in the park area because I want you guys to be equipped and informed. If you're taking notes, the title of this message today is going to be mentality over money. Let me repeat that again. Mentality over money. All right. And as I sit here and I walk and I talk, I want everybody to understand a few things as I walk and I talk. I want everybody to understand you have to have the right mentality before money can ever hit the scene. You have to have the right mentality once again before money ever hits the scene. It's not money, it's always mentality. And the reason why I say that is because last night when we were on the call, let me give you guys a huge, for instance, we were on the call and we were due to bring this young lady in next week. And I sped up the process. And the reason why I wanted to speed up the process was because it hit me. It wasn't about the money. It was about the mentality. And as I heard Mr. Thomas talk last night on the call, his main thing was trying to get everyone to focus, to get everybody to focus and change their mentality. We can always talk about money, but we seldom talk about mentality. And the reason why I say that, ladies and gentlemen, because I know as people are on the call, I know some people go back and listen to the call. I want this to be informative. I want it to be an informative training today. Informative training. I want you guys to realize something. If somebody can go to a mall and pay $200 and $300 for sneakers and then turn around and tell you that they don't have money to invest in themselves, that's a backwards mentality. So it's not about money. We always can find money to do something that we want to do. But when it comes to investing in ourselves, we lack. We lack in that area. We lack in that area. So we have to do a better job of painting a better picture of our future. Let me give you, for instance, I heard Mr. Thomas say something last night on the calls. That's why it's important to get on these calls, on these private calls. I heard Mr. Thomas say something last night that really shook my core. One of the things that he was trying to get people to understand was to paint a picture about their future, their future. We always look at our now and never look at our future. It's a mentality of looking at your future. Now, if we looked at our future and we were really serious about this thing, we would actually be doing things to go forward in our mentality. Because if your mind can go forward, your body will follow. Let me repeat that. If your mind can go forward, your body will follow. What's the difference between us and an SVP like Al Thomas? There is no difference. Mr. Thomas gets up every day like we do. His mentality shifts every day like our mentality should shift. And it's not about money. Mr. Thomas didn't always have what he has right now. He had to change his mentality before the money could ever come. Somebody needs to get that in their system and in their spirit. You have to change your mentality before the money could ever come. I know some of us dream about doing this and doing that, but until we can get it in our minds that we can actually do this, we just have a poor mentality about looking at it. We have to change our mind state before the money could ever come. Why do you say that, Sam? Because Mr. Thomas was an SVP before he was an SVP. Well, how do you mean? What I mean, he had a SVP's mentality before he ever became an SVP. In other words, his mind was in position before his body ever got there. Let me repeat that again. His mind was in position, ladies and gentlemen, before his body ever got there. So when he finally got to where he was, there was no accident. He left clues behind. Now, let me give an example about the young lady we talked to last night in particular, because it's going to help somebody. This is going to really help somebody. Her mentality was stuck where she was. And I had to get her mentality fast forward to where she needed to be. One of the things I told the young lady was, I said, we're going to need you in before next week. And the reason why we need you in before next week, because what if you talk to somebody trying to pique them about your business and you tell them, well, I'm getting in next week, and they say they want to get in today? That's going to help somebody. That's going to help somebody. In other words, when you talk about wanting to do something, it would be to your advantage to already be in because you're prepared. Because somebody's going to tell somebody, well, I want to get in today. And if you're not able to get in at that moment, you're going to miss somebody. We used to always call it a fear of loss back in the day. You got to have that in these people's minds today, ladies and gentlemen, that they're going to have a fear of loss. Why? Because there's nothing new up under the sun. That's just different people. Because I guarantee you this, with everything that ACN has already on the table and everything they have yet to come, like Miss Nicole Wood said, we're going to be amazed how 2023 is going to shape up. We already have these new products on the table that we didn't even think about having on the table 3 years ago. Now they're here. Now, I want somebody to get this in their system. Get it in your system in order for you to go where you need to go in your business. Your mentality has to shift. Let me repeat that. Your mentality has to shift. Your thinking has to go to another level. I know we're going to have several people that say, well, I'm busy, and then they'll come back and say, well, I don't have the money. Quite the contrary. And the reason why I say that, ladies and gentlemen, is because I can prove to you that most people do have the money on the spot, even if they tell you they don't have it. And I'm going to go with it like this. If you told somebody your favorite car is going to cost you $324, they'll have that money like yesterday. If you tell somebody your favorite home is only going to cost $324, they'll have that money like yesterday. It's mentality now. It's mentality. Now, well, Sam, you're going a little big about it. No, I'm not going big about it. It's all simplistics. Now, if your business to you is worth more than $324, well, wait a minute. I need to be thinking more than $324. Now, I don't know about you guys across the country, but in Texas, this past 2 weeks, we've been making a big deal about eggs. That's right, eggs. The price of eggs. And the truth of the matter is, if you got started in your ACN business making residual income, the price of eggs would not even be a factor because that's small things that we get caught up on amongst other people just chit-chattering. But watch this part, ladies and gentlemen, because this is going to help somebody in their ACN business. The eggs is not going to stop somebody from going to the club tonight. Oh, let me get out of that, Mr. Thomas. I hit something. I felt it. I felt it before I said it. Watch this now. The price of eggs won't stop a person from going to the club tonight. Let's be real for a second. Let's be real. We grown. The price of eggs is not going to cost somebody for going to a strip club. Watch this now. I'm not going to get R-rated. I'm going to keep it PG. But it's not going to cost the average person from getting off work, going to a strip club. Come on now. Let's be real for half a second. We grown. You spend the average person in a strip club. Yes, that's right. I used to be there back in the day. The average person in a strip club, the average person walking in there will spend $150 without even thinking about it. I didn't say for the drinks. I said for the strip club, for the person. $150. And they usually go 2 days in a row, a Friday and a Saturday. Watch this. That's ACN money right there. Okay. He going a little out the box. No, I'm not. Watch this. The average person spends anywhere, watch this part, between $15 and $20 a day eating lunch. A day. These are facts. Okay, lowball it. Let's say $15. You do the math. If you do $15 by 5, come on now, by 5, in 2 weeks, you got your ACN money. Now let's be real. These are facts, ladies and gentlemen. These are facts. And we're not going to talk about the weekend. We just talking Monday through Friday. If you start telling the average person to pull their money back, to scale their money back over stuff that they really don't have to have, they'll have their ACN money in less than 2 weeks. That's a fact. They'll have it in less than 2 weeks. If it's really about the money. But I know it's really not about the money, because if it was about the money, they would be then jumped in last week. Why? Because everything that they spend their money on, that's a necessity. They don't have to spend their money on it. They just need to jump in ACN and get the services free and let the business pay for itself. Let me get out of that, Mr. Thomas. Let me get out of that. They can let the business pay for itself, ladies and gentlemen. We have a proven system that's supposed to pay for itself. When you get in, it's supposed to pay for itself. Check the comp plan. When you jump into business, it's designed to pay for itself. People say, well, I don't know if they're making the money. It's upfront money and back-end money at the same time. The co-founders put it in there on purpose. If you think I'm lying, check the comp plan, get on Mr. Thomas' call on Tuesday and watch him break it down, and you see upfront and back-end money moving at the same time. That's why it can't be about money. It's got to be mentality. I'm telling you what I know. It can't be about money. It's too many people spending ACN money, 324, on the weekend. They're not even spending it on the weekday. They blow it on the weekend. If you think I'm lying, ask the average person what they do for recreation. And when they start telling it to you, write it down. Write the estimation down. When you get through writing the estimation down, you can give it back to them and say, this your ACN fee right here. It's only $324, ladies and gentlemen. That's lunch money. It's lunch money. So it's not about the money. It's always been about the mentality. We're going to have to break this thing down to people. And guess what I found out, ladies and gentlemen, before I get off this call? You're going to have to start offending people a little bit. You're going to have to start getting some rigidness about your skin and offend people a little bit. We have a problem with offending people because we want it to be nice and neat, put it in a box. We don't want to make nobody feel like they don't belong. Well, they don't belong anyway if they don't get themselves pulled up by the bootstrap. Somebody got to tell them the facts, because if you keep watering it down, you're going to have a lukewarm mentality when you're supposed to be fire-red. That's the problem that we have in ACN. It's not the money, it's the mentality. Well, why you say that, Sam? And I'm going to make somebody real mad before I get off this call. I don't care if you're in ACN or think about being an ACN. How could you not do ACN when you're already doing ACN? Oh, no, I'm going to say it again. I might as well say it again to make somebody real mad. Watch this. How can you not do ACN when you're already doing ACN? Watch this. I ain't got the time. You do have the time. Every time, watch this, you flick on the light, you got the time. If you flick on your light, you got the time. Every time you answer your phone, you got the time. Why? Because it's everything that you're already doing without having the time anyway. It's an unconscious habit anyway. And you have to tell potentials that. Guess what? They can eat it now and taste it later. They may have to stomach this later. But at least I put it on their palate. We're not even being good stewards about our business and not putting it on their palate. We should have had 30 people on the call last night. At least that many. Throwing a dart at something. We got to throw the dart at something. Well, we can't do everybody can't do what everybody do. That's not the point. If you don't know one person to get on a call and you got a 7-day span, You probably should never be on the call. We have to stop getting high. We get high every week and we think things are going to pop up like I dream of Genie. That's not going to happen. You have to get yourself up, do what I'm doing, get out in the streets, because now the pandemic is a lost art. So you can't blame it on that. And now people are doing things in this country and abroad by the droves. And we sit around and say, well, I don't want to offend anybody. Well, I'm getting offended because you don't want to offend anybody. So for 2023, I'm offending everybody. I'm going to let you guys know. I'm going to be offending everybody. Because I'd rather for you to get mad at me and be offended by what I say than not be offended at all and it's watered down. I'd rather you think about it and be mad at me because you'll get the facts out of it sooner or later than me not say nothing at all and follow the masses. And in case you guys hadn't realized, the masses are falling off in droves. And we have the antidote to give to people. But what if they don't receive it? It does not matter. You're not responsible for how they react. You're responsible for the initiation of the information. And we have too many people that don't initiate anything. If you're not going to initiate something, get out my way. I got the young lady last night because I was standing in the lobby of the hotel and she was at the front desk. Oh, let me repeat this again, Mr. Thompson. I'm gonna get off your call, sir. I got the young lady. She was the desk person in the lobby. I didn't know her from a can of paint, ladies and gentlemen. It was cold market, absolute cold market. I publicized Mr. Thomas and got myself out the way so bad, she wanted Mr. Thomas's phone number before she wanted mine. Wait a minute. Then I got 2 PBRs to do this weekend off of people that was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I told them, I said, I got a way out. I said, I just need your number. I just got my paperwork off the top, the name and number. We playing guesswork with something, ladies and gentlemen, that's a surefire. We're playing guesswork with ACN, and ACN has always been a surefire. Ladies and gentlemen, I know this was a hard pill to swallow. I get it. And it was hard for me to say it. But I'd rather say it and you get it or replay it than me not say it at all, because the blood will not be on my hands. Mr. Thomas, I thank you for your time and your platform, sir. As always, let's keep doing what we do. Thank you.